Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I respectfully stand in opposition to this bill. I know a lot of work has went into it, and I want to begin by saying I certainly support any efforts to get rid of fraudulent claims within our system. I think if someone is gaming the system, they should be dealt with. They should be dealt with swiftly, and they should be prosecuted. But what I do have a problem with, Mr. President, we went through this last year, and, again, I look around this chamber, and I see a lot of successful, very successful businessmen and women, and I applaud you for that. I don't know how many of you ever had to survive on unemployment benefits. Well, I'm one that has, Mr. President. When things got a little slow in the mining industry and myself and my friends got laid off, we wanted to go back to work. We wanted to go back to work desperately. But sometimes things just weren't available to us. There was a time when, folks were laid off for years. But somehow, for some reason, this bill reduces the number of weeks that a worker can collect unemployment benefits. Today, an unfortunate worker who gets laid off can get a maximum of 26 weeks. If this bill passes, it will be anywhere from a minimum of 12 weeks to a maximum of 20 weeks. Well, I'm going to tell you, things get tough sometimes. Things get extremely tough. And sometimes 26 weeks is not enough. But I tell you what I do know. I do know that 12 is not enough, and I do know that 20 is not enough when you're trying to pay the light bill and you're trying to provide for your kids the same as other families get to provide for their kids. I don't understand it, Mr. President. We hand out things to corporations all the time, and I'm supportive of that because we believe it brings jobs to West Virginia, and we all want people to succeed and have good employment. And we hand it out constantly. But when it comes to workers, it seems like it's a constant beat down. I just don't get it why we had to single out the men and women that make West Virginia go on their toughest times and reduce the amount of time they could collect those benefits. I know there's going to be very, very few red lights up there, Mr. President, but you know me pretty well, and I got to speak my mind when I see what I believe injustices occurring, particularly to the men and women that made West Virginia go. I'm a no vote. Thank you, Mr. President.